So playing stuff like that is actually harder, for me at least, than just go playing super fast, where you just go for it. Hey, John here. If you have trouble with fast and smooth legato, these two exercises can help you a lot, and they also sound good, so you can actually use them in your soloing once you get used to them. And to help you to get this down way quicker, I have included a practice routine that's very systematic but very effective to level up your left hand. So stick around for that. The exercise goes like this. We have 2 different patterns, and we're going to apply that to 4 different 3-finger combinations. So the 3-finger combinations would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And even though 2, 3, 4 might feel a bit unnecessary because you don't necessarily use only those 3 fingers, they will really help you balance the hand. So don't skip that. So the first sequence, and this is going to be the ascending sequence, meaning the ones where we start on the low string and go up to the high string. It's going to go like this, and I'm going to demonstrate that with the 1, 2, 3 fingering here from the 5th fret. As usual, the tabs are available on my Patreon, and you have a link in the description for that. So the first sequence goes like this. We have 3 fingers, right? So I think it's easier to just call out the finger numbers. So we got 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right, and then we do that on each string. Until we reach the high E string. And you can decide to pick that any way you want, because we have so many notes per string, so you can, pick it with anything basically. So if you just do downstroke. I tend to use hybrid picking. Just use whatever picking you find the easiest to get a smooth transition to the next string. So I would avoid this initially. Right, so you kind of just want to feel like it's a continuous line and not necessarily that everyone can hear when you change the strings. So keep that in mind. And then once we've done this sequence here, we move up a fret, and then we go down in this classic Yngwie sequence. So again, numbering the fingers from left to right, 1, 2, 3. We have 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Right? So 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So basically the mirrored version here. And the reason why I like these 2 in combination is because if we put this into a scale, for example, it just sounds good going. It sounds more natural than going. And while there's nothing wrong with a bigger interval here, I just think it sounds a bit smoother, doing that instead. And the same thing goes when you go down, because if we would be using the first sequence, then we get sort of the same problem. It's not really a problem, it's just a variation, but for that really smooth legato where you don't have big interval jumps, I think these 2 work really well together. So when you go down here, you get that. So you still get some sort of skip here though, because you have a minor third or a major third depending on the scale shape, but it's still within that range where it sounds really flowing. And when I go down with this 6-note sequence, I tend to do something that's called hammer-on from nowhere. And it just means that I start the string with a tap in the left hand, so I don't even pick it at all. So, and you can see my hand move like this, and that's because I want to keep muting the strings. So I move my right hand in time with the left hand here. So keep the muting going, but also making sure I don't get into that. Muted legato is fine as well, but I just wanted the smooth sound for this one. So that's the actual pattern, and then you apply that to 1, 2, 4. 1, 3, 4. And finally 2, 3, 4. And if you notice here, I didn't start on the 5th fret because I want to keep everything 1 finger per fret, and my lowest fret here is going to be the 5th fret in this case. And obviously you want to do this in all positions on the fretboard, but if you don't have a lot of time, you can do each of the variations in these 4 frets positions, so you cover the whole fretboard without overlapping. But if you have a lot of time on your hands, which is good, then you can take each of these variations and just start down here. So let's say we take 1, 2, 4. And continue like that. But definitely don't do what I did here, playing that fast. The point here is to get every note even in time and in tone, and also that you feel really relaxed when you do this. So you can save this fast playing after you've done the actual exercise. So in general, when I sit down and repeat something, I do it at a very slow tempo, in case you're new to this channel. So, and that's what's worked best for me, but also worked the best for the students that I've helped throughout the years. So a final thing here, once you feel comfortable with this sort of systematic exercise, it's a good idea to take this sequence through any of the 3 note per string scales that you're currently working on, so any tonality. So let's say, just keep it simple, let's say I do E minor, so we'll start at the lowest available position, then I start with the ascending one, so now we'll go like this. And you can repeat those 2 shapes for maybe a minute, just go round and round, or you just simply go up instead of going back to the first one again. So basically you start here instead of going back down here. Then all the way up and then all the way back. But I kind of like the thing where you start in each position and repeat that for a minute or so, and then move up to the next one. And I like that because then you don't have to feel rushed, because if you do, the faster you do the exercise, the faster you're going to be done. But like I said, you want to keep this at a pace where it's really solid. So I would more likely sit around this tempo. And so on. So I can really feel fully in control and relaxed. That's the most important thing for me, because then once you've done that for a while, you're going to find that your left hand feels much smoother than if you try to push the tempo the whole time. Especially when it comes to legato, it's actually harder to play slower sometimes. That sounds ridiculous if you have never tried doing this, but it's actually harder once you get into this stuff to play legato more in time at a sort of medium tempo. So playing stuff like that is actually harder, for me at least, than just go playing super fast where you just go for it. So working on this in a more slow and methodical and controlled way will actually help you with both ways of playing it afterwards. So don't skip out on that and just go for the speed. Back in the day, I used to have real issues with fast alternate picking when it came to 2 notes per string. I was fine with 3 notes per string, but the 2 note per string thing was a bit harder to crack. So if you struggle with fast alternate picking as well, and you don't know what to practice or for how long, I've created the perfect solution for you in the form of the Pentatonic Picking Power Book. So in this book, you'll find a daily workout that will not only help your pentatonic picking, but will also upgrade your overall alternate picking technique. So it contains basically the same exercises I use myself to develop my picking abilities, as well as numerous students over the years that I've given the same exercise to with great results. So I know these exercises work as long as you put in the work. So it's not a quick solution or quick fix. It will still take a lot of work, but at least you have a very easy to follow routine. So if you're up for a big alternate picking upgrade in 2024, I cannot think of a better start. It's $9 and I think it's very underpriced, but I did it that way just so as many people as possible could be helped by this. So check that out.